Hello everyone and welcome back to another FAF cast. Today we've got Pro vs Pro going down on Tag Craftious Maximus. We have Tex against Raider up here in the top left corner. We're going to have Tex. He is going to be going the all-powerful Cybran, opening first land. Not a bad start. And over here in the bottom right, we're going to have a Raider. And we are going to be opening Seraphim first land. Sorry, let me get rid of that little thing up there. We're going to be opening first land Seraphim. And then going to be walking back here to get the rest of our mexes. Let me go ahead and speed this up a little bit here so we can go ahead and get to some of the action while these two players begin their expansions. Looks like they're both going straight for their Hydras. Not a bad start ever. And now we've got a lab out from Tex up here in the upper portion of the map. Got a couple of max. Looks like we're going to be sending one to the middle and one possibly down to the lower section. Raider over here on the right going straight for these underwater mexes over here. Still no attacking. Oh, never mind. There is a tank out from Raider, my bad. But his NG gonna die to a lab here before it can build that second max. But the lab now going to die to a tank. And the second tank from Tex also going to die, or lab from tank, or from Tex also going to die to a tank, sorry. And I'm gonna go ahead and slow this down to some normal speed here. We've got a bomber out harassing some NGs of Raiders from Tex, but that's gonna get quickly shut down by an interceptor. Tex up here on the left looks like he also went for those 3 mass extractors first as well. And Tex and Raider both going to be moving their comms the opposite directions of each other, it looks like, unless they're going to walk in mid. Raider over here getting a good raid in with a combat scout. And we've got a tank up there as well, going to be killing off another NG, actually. We have a combat scout and a tank over here moving this expansion from Raider. Tex looking a little slow getting to this opposite corner here. But his comm is about to be pushed down into this lower portion of the map here. And that's going to be really difficult for Raider to handle without lots of spam. And it looks like these guys are just going for some eco-heavy builds right now. But Tex actually building a significant amount of tanks now, sending them over here to the right. This combat scout now going to be dealt with over here by this mantis, or never mind, it can't see it. I forgot those go invisible. Not a lot of action happening right now. We do have Raider and Tex in complete opposite corners now. Raider went back here to go ahead and collect these maxes, and I believe Tex moved up here to move forward and kind of keep Raider from getting into this area. Tex still sending all of his units over to the right hand side. But Raider, it looks like he's moving a small army through the middle here. That might get by unless I start seeing some units down here. It looks like we might have some keyed up to go down there, actually. Yes. Not sure. I don't see the queue for those guys. But we do have a raid up here in the top from Tex. But it is going to be dealt with by Raider as his comm is standing there, and Tex trying to move through into the base of Raider. Going to be met by some tanks down here as well, and Tex going to pull back from that position there. The tanks of Raider did not get to go through. They saw some units moving in, and they decided to retreat instead of going for it. Raider up here looking a little split off from his units. We're going to build a land factory up here and get some spam up here with him as well. Looks like Tex is going into the naval game here. We've got 4 naval factories queued up, and Raider, it looks like he's going in as well. We have 1 built and 2 more queued up. Have we got any T2 factories yet? Well, I'm not seeing any. What about up here for Tex? I don't see any up here for Tex either yet. In fact, our air factory is paused. Let's go ahead and see if any of these players are stalling. Well, Tex is stalling some E. Probably why we paused that air factory. How's Raider doing? Raider is doing just fine with his economy. But Raider up here at the top with his comm and an army going to be pushing Tex back out of this position here. Tex does not look like he has sufficient forces to deal with just this army, let alone the comm of Raider as well. Tex down here built a PD up here, tried to secure this location even better, as he doesn't really have many units down here. Tex trying to sneak by this army that Raider's brought in, but he's going to get caught, and Raider is going to run after him and kill all of his units, I believe. Maybe this Mantis gets away. Ooh, they might all get away. It wasn't microed very well. All 3 of those Mantis are going to get away. We need to build some tank or something out of there now. Now the comm alone here. Tex going to be moving in. It looks like he's on an attack move probably. Nope, maybe not. Just the way that they all clumped up to shoot that one unit, I assumed so. But he is going to be moving forward, try to push Raider back out of this mid position. Raider sends all his units back to deal with these 3 tanks. Gives Tex a little bit of time to build up some units up here, but we do have Raider's comm still here. Tex now sending a couple scouts forward, trying to see if the coast is clear to go through in the south position. We've got the comm of Tex and a few units here. Go ahead and look at the economy of Tex again, see if we fixed it. No, we are still in the power stall. Things not looking so great for Tex right now on the economy side. Raider is only stalling mass, and just barely, it looks like. Tex moving his comm and some units towards the base of Raider, though. Raider ignoring it and sending all of his units through mid. They're going to be met with a looks like a more substantial army from Tex. Although if Tex wants to get anywhere, he's going to have to fight through this big army here of Raiders. Raider actually looking like he's getting some solid micro in here. A few tanks are getting through. We've got a lone tank up on the mountain here. We do have some frigates out now trying to shoot some Maxes, but they just can't get over the hills. Some frigates down here as well. Raider has 2 built up here, but he needs a 3rd in order to contest against the 3 down south. About to be a 4th one as well. Raider trying to move forward and pick off this next here maybe. Trying to get in a good position to move down and take out that little army that was just sitting there as well, but these Thames are all looking like they're just going to die. Maybe he was trying to split it up so he could get some better hits in down here. I'm not sure exactly what the plan was there. We built a PD here to try to deal with any landstorm that tries to come down through there, but we do have several already here that are going to deal with that pretty quickly. And it does look like they're going to start firing down on that. We do have Ilshis on the field now from Raider. Do we have any T2 from Tex? Well, I'm not seeing any T2 land factories over here unless I'm blind, which very could be. Raider now pushing Tex out of this lower position down here where his frigates were. Looks like a little raid has gotten by the comm of Raider up here in the north. That is going to do some damage over here in this top right corner unless we can get something over there to deal with that quickly. 4 frigates against 4 frigates and a sub. The 4 frigates and the sub should win this every day. 2 frigates already go down from Raider. And a 3rd goes down. Are we even going to get 1 frigate out of this exchange here? No, we're not. We're going to be met by another frigate as we're running away. The little raid down here that Tex got earlier now being dealt with, and these Max Structures are going to get taken out by the Mantis of Raider here. We have a big army just moving through this PD over here. We do have a few already in here to try to shoot it, take it down quicker. But we do have Tex right here on a gun upgrade, so we need to push this if Raider wants to push him off that. Pushing him now would be a great idea, and he does cancel it, so that is a win for Raider there. Pushing an ACU off of the gun upgrade is always a great thing to do. Not seeing any T2 naval yet here. I do want to just check that every so often, as T2 naval could change this game perhaps if Tex could get it anywhere or Raider could get it anywhere. Tex not looking like he's in the best of positions down here though. He does have an army on his south and an army on his right. And he is currently getting spammed by Artie as he tries to run away. But he is going to get away. Raider's not going to push on him too hard here, it doesn't look like. Tex going to deal with this army over here, Raiders. We've got some rhinos on the field now actually, so we do have T2 factory. I'm just not seeing it because I'm blind. Oh, right here. I am a bit blind, sorry about that guys. But it looks like Raider has an army in every single point on this map in the mid. In the mid position, that is. Is this already going to die to this fire here? No, they're all going to... Oh, no, he does go down. One of them hits him and he goes down. We have a transport over here trying to get a drop off, maybe take these Maxes, or build a PD. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is there, but those NGs are going to die immediately. Or that one NG, I guess. He only dropped 1. Do we have any T2 naval factories on the field yet? No, we do not. From Raider, what about from Tex? Nope, not any from Tex yet either. Tex gonna move on the southern, or actually gonna move on all forces at once, it looks like, except for the mid. Sending the army in the south to the south position and the comm to the northern position in the south. And I'm now gonna be moving our army up to help with that comm as well. We're gonna build a factory here, probably to throw down some NGs, get some reclaim. And it looks like Tex has won the push in the top. Raider going to be retreating with his ACU from there now, but we do have a bunch of Ilshis on the way here. How many do we have here? We have 8 Ilshis on the way over there. That's going to put a hamper on this force here. It looks like it's mostly just Mantises. There are 3 Rhinos over here, so I believe these Ilshis are going to be able to deal with this. And Tex stopping here. By throwing down a factory, he wants to collect this reclaim for his own. We're going to build a Mex right here. Got some things pushing on the ACU of Tex, trying to get rid of some APM of his. The Ilshis have done the trick and are now going to be pushing Tex back out of the top position. Raider going to move back and secure this mid position here with his units that he has over in the mid. Still not seeing any T2 Navy on the field from anyone. Is that T2? No. I was thinking that one might be going T2, but it is not. Raider setting up in the midpoints of all of the little channels here. There's our T2 land factory right here. Let's go ahead and see how many T2 land factories we have. Well, it's just the one. Which has been enough, though. The one TT factory has been enough. Those Ilshi's pushed back Tex in the top. Tex looking a little weak on soldiers on the field now, actually. All his units are up here. And Tex going to push into this army over here in the southern position. That seems like a very not good idea. Rhino's not going to move in for protection. I'm not sure if it's quick enough, though. Yes, Raider is going to retreat from that fight. Tex, that was a dangerous move right there. He walked right into an ambush. He walked right into a half circle of just straight on fire on his comm there. Tex moving his entire force towards the north. That is going to be all of his units. So if he doesn't get some good exchanges out of this, Raider is going to be able to just walk into his base. Tex sitting back, now going for that gun upgrade again. I believe this is the third time he's tried to go for it. Raider sending his ACU and some more units to the north to help protect against the push from Tex. Tex looking like he just has a lot more forces on the field in the north. Although it does look mostly like Rhinos. And Medusa. A lot of T1 units. We have a few T2 units up here in the north. I believe Tex may win this fight up here in the north. Raider gonna draw his units back just in case he does lose this fight. He has a second force that Tex has to go through to get to his base. Tex over here 45% done with his gun upgrade. It looks like we paused all the factories of Tex now. Raider going to continue building T1 Navy for some reason. Well, I don't think I've seen either one of these players scout the navals in a while, so maybe he just doesn't know that Tex has stopped. We do have a scout over the AC of Tex, though. We're going to know that he's getting an upgrade here. I wonder if Raider's going to try to push on this now. Try to push him off that gun upgrade or not. Well, it looks like the answer is not. Raider actually holding his own over here. Tex didn't get as much ground as I thought he was going to get, or probably as much as he hoped for. So Raider doing a good job fending off the push up in the northern section of the map from Tex. In the lower position, Raider now going to start pushing forward. Tex has already completed his gun upgrade, though. He doesn't have many forces on this side of the field either, though. And we have a Rhino, a Mantis, and a Medusa down here to help protect other than our comm. It would be a dangerous position for Tex to be in. Tex looking like he's going to be running away now. Oh no, he's decided to turn around. He's going to stand his ground and fight. Targeting the Ilshivas first. And I don't think Tex dies here, but I do believe he loses the southern position down here. And he did not gain the northern position either, so not a good thing for Tex. But Raider actually going to pull back out of this once his Ilshis died. Raider going for gun upgrade in the north now. Want to get up here and help his units against the relentless pushes from Tex in the north. Tex is transport on the way with some NGs. Going to try to build these nexus that are up here probably. We have reopened up our naval production. for Tex. Still don't see any T2 Navy on the field though, so it's still just T1 naval fights. Tex gonna be getting pushed by Raider in the north now. Raider has a pretty substantial force up here. Raider going for Aura. Regen Aura. That completes, and we are now a bit more of a hefty boy. So far, just standing there though. Now we're going for Nano Repair as well. We want to be an even heftier boy. The forces of Raider now having to take fire from a T2 BD that has been thrown online back here by some T2 NGs. Or what I thought were T2 NGs. I'm not seeing any T2 NGs actually. And a second one back there as well. Raider takes down the first T2 PD. Realizes we've lost a lot of our forces and Tex is getting reinforcements in now. Raider pulls all his units back and begins moving them to the north. Not a lot of action really kicking off in the middle points here. Both teams either favoring the north or the south. The south, actually, Tex is about to get a raid out. Possibly, no, Raider is going to start sending some units down here, and it's not going to end up being a raid. It is going to end up being a battle if anything happens with it. Raider up here still just trying to keep Tex from moving forward in this northern position here. Nano Repair almost done for Raider. It's at about 85% now. Naval forces in the south pushing Tex back. Tex took that break earlier from making naval units, so Raider should be a little bit further ahead in the naval game. Tex moved forward in the south position, getting met by some forces by Raider. We have some Ilshis in here, but Tex's gun comm is down here as well. That's very close to the base of Raider. However, Tex is very secluded away from all of his units. He needs to get back. He doesn't have any reinforcements up here with his comm. Tex taking a lot of risks this game, in my opinion. I am not a pro though, as he is. So who knows, but he has just been pushing pretty hard with his comm. We did get a lot of overcharge shots off there though, so we did take out several Ilshis there, but Raider going to retreat his units from that fight and move towards the north with them. I'm not sure if Tex sees the opportunity here to just possibly walk towards the base of Raider, but Raider now has the gun upgrade, Regen Aura, and we have Nano Repair, and we are just going to be walking towards the base of Tex with very little to stand in the way of our hefty boy comp. Overcharge almost takes on the T2PD and it goes down by a couple shots afterwards. There's another T2PD in the back though. Raider doesn't care. We're basically taking no shots at all. We're just getting tickled by this T2PD. Tex in the south still has no reinforcements. We do have T2 air out from Raider. We're going to build up some Nothas. We built a Torp Bomber here. Looked like we are losing the Navy in the south, so built a Torp Bomber, try and help deal with the spam from Tex down there. But Tex has a worse problem. He has this hefty boy ACU up here in the north, while your ACU is all alone down here in the south. Raider looking like he's going to move some forces down towards that position and move Tex out of here. Tex gonna leave his base with his units, it looks like, actually. Or at least some of them. Tex having a very difficult time fending off against this spam and the ACU of Raider. Raider still on full health this entire time. He is one very hefty boy. We do have Natha's out now over here. I think he was trying to just clear out some of the spam. He might have been trying to go for a snipe, I'm not sure, and realized that he is too close to Tex's base and might as well just destroy everything Tex has. We are reclaiming our own Pigeon for mass down in the south position of his base here, not like in the south, but south of his base. Raider has almost taken out the entire army of Tex now, other than what he's brought down here to the south. Raider now going to move a second army through the mid towards Tex's base, and I believe this is going to be all over for Tex. This should be it. I believe Tex down here away from his base. He isn't going to die, but I believe he is going to lose his entire base in the north position here. Raider still basically on full health against these T2PD and the spam that's still coming out, or attempting to come out anyways, from Tex. Let's go ahead and look at Tex's economy here. Just see how much of a hamper this has put on things. Well, I haven't really put much of a hamper on things yet. We do still have this entire southern portion. But the second army from the south now going to move in from Raider towards the base of Tex, and that should end this game, I believe, once it gets there. T2PD in the mid, going to quickly go down to the spam moving through. Tex throwing out the GG, says, surprised it took this long with my opener. Nice regen, he says. Raider saying that his opener was bad too. We get a T3 land factory up over here from Tex, but it is too late. What did we build in there? Well, I don't think I'm even going to get to see what we built in there. Tex gonna just try and walk into the base of Raider over here in the south now. Going to get surrounded by all the units of Raiders and get shot by the T2PD, and this is going to be all over. Tex is going to die here. Let's go ahead and get a nice shot of the boom going down here. And that's going to be it for that game, guys. That was a great game. That was my first pro cast, I think, that I have done so far. It's pretty enjoyable. And if you guys enjoyed watching, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe if you're not already. If you'd like to submit some replays directly to me, you can do so in my Discord. It will be linked down in the description below. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful day.